Always love it when we get free legal advice on the program. Let's go upstairs to Leanne.
We are with lawyer David Hollingsworth, and the rules of the road have changed. Many of them anyway. We're going to explore a couple of those, one relating to cyclists and drivers. Dave?
Yeah, that's right. So starting this year, there's a new piece of legislation called the Making Ontario Roads Safer Act. And as it sounds, it imposes stricter guidelines on motorists as it relates to the interactions with cyclists and pedestrians. And so as it relates to pedestrians, people in Ottawa are going to hear about these new crossovers. So we already know what crosswalks are, and they are obviously the places at intersections where pedestrians will cross the road. At a stop sign, they don't have any lights. Where there are traffic lights, there's the hand or the pedestrian signal. We all know how to work with those. But now there are these crossovers, which are areas for pedestrians to cross the road, not at an intersection. And so while they may feel random, they're specifically designated spots the city has chosen where they put these crossovers where pedestrian presses a button, the crossover lights up, and then the rule is that the motorists and cyclists have to stop and wait not only till the pedestrian is across their lane of traffic, but until the pedestrian is all the way across safely to the other side of the road before they can proceed.
And for many of us who've had our licenses for a long time, this is all new. We'd never even heard of the term crossover.
Right, yes. Well, and so now we have, and they are here to stay. I believe that about 50 or 60 of them have been erected here in Ottawa, and I'm told, or looking at the City of Ottawa website, it looks like they're going to be about 180 of them over the next 3 years. So like the roundabouts in Orleans, these are a new phenomenon, and they're designed to make roads safer and more efficient.
So now as a lawyer, you see potential problems with this, or potential areas of the law that could be applied or confusing.
Sure.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, anytime you make Ontario roads safer, it's better. And I think that, you know, like anything, motorists have to be educated and trained. But one of the potential issues is that one motorist is not allowed to overtake another motorist within 30 meters, about 100 feet of the crossover. So you have to know where they are, you have to watch for the signs, and so there are all sorts of pitfalls for motorists that they have to be just that much more aware on the roads.
So you're essentially here today preventing a lot of you from getting tickets.
Well, getting tickets and, of course, safety. But that's right. So you need to watch out for these things and make sure that you observe the rules. No passing within 30 meters, and stop and wait until the pedestrians are all the way across.
Anything relating to cycling in a city of cyclists like Ottawa can be a hot button topic. And the 1 meter bike rule has had a lot of people chatting about, well, how do you determine? First, explain the law, then we'll explain the confusion potentially.
Right. So the 1 meter rule is that you are supposed to, as a motorist, if you go to overtake a cyclist, you're supposed to give them a full meter from behind them all the way until you're completely past them. You need to give them a 1 meter berth. Now, the one little piece of wiggle room in the, it's a qualifier in the legislation, as is reasonably practicable. And so, you know, if you're, I assume that if you're in a vehicle and you're going by a cyclist and they go around a sewer cover or a manhole or something and they get closer to you, you know, you've got the qualifier there. But essentially, that's the rule. And it's a strict one.
And you can see, though, where a lot of people have different depth perceptions. Some people don't know or aren't able to really perceive what a meter is. And
Sure.
I'm sure there is going to be a lot of...
Sure.
There'll be a lot of people going to court about this.
There could be, and I mean, you know, you can't control if you've got a meter between you and a cyclist, and the cyclist weaves, you know, as cyclists do for a variety of
that looked like
reasons.
a half a meter to me, Dave.
Right.
This looks like a meter.
Right.
Good
Well,
catch.
You're going to need your, you're going to need a meter rule at the side of your car, just to measure now. But it's basically they're legislating common sense.
Dave?
Right, so distracted driving, of course, we all know you're not allowed to be on a handheld device while driving. Now the fines have gone up to close to $500 and 3 demerit points, and I just know from people I've spoken to who have gotten tickets, if you even so much as reach for your phone and have it in your hand and you're spotted, you will get pulled over for that and ticketed and receive demerit points. Also, intoxicated driving, now it's broader, not just alcohol. They're including drugs as well for intoxicated drivers and emergency vehicles. So there are rules having to get right out of the lane of the emergency vehicle and slow right down, and if you don't, you're going to be subjected to some very stiff fines and demerit points.
And as you say, these are all designed to keep the roads safer, to keep all of us safer. And you know, it's going to be really hard to fight a lot of these things, because if in fact you're in the wrong and you try to say you're not, there are cameras everywhere.
There are cameras everywhere on many of the traffic lights in the city, and many of the businesses have security cameras that the police will get access to, and they can review them. And often it doesn't happen for typical traffic tickets, but certainly cameras are out there, and you're being videoed a lot.
Okay.